Welcome to the Hangover Music Show. I am your host for today, Corina Corina. This is Willie Green.
Hey, y'all.
He and I recorded this album, Hangover Music, together. We executive produced it, and the whole entire album was just the two of us.
Scotch neat, I think, is my go-to.
I love a good Scotch.
You know? Yeah. See, that's the thing. When it's good, you don't need all the extra stuff. You don't need juices and all kinds of accoutrement. That's it. When it's right, it's right.
That's right.
At the point in life, the hangover is a 2-day thing. Is the hangover and the hangover from that hangover.
I can't decide which is worse. I think the hangover from the hangover is worse.
The second one is worse because you feel guilty about having it. You know, the first one is like, okay, all right, you got the hangover like normal people. The second one is like, damn, I'm just washed. And now I have the double hangover.
Washed. Well, the other thing is that the first day hangover, you're still hopefully like a little high off the memory of the fun time you had the night before. Or maybe like a little giddy-ish, if it's not like a terrible toxic hangover. But then the next day you're just wilted and washed.
Yeah, well, because you're hungover from the hangover.
So
yeah, you didn't have a great night the night before because you were just hungover. So now you're just sitting there wallowing in your misery.
Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard.
Probably college, that night when I had way too much gin and everything tasted like Christmas trees for a week.
Ugh.
And I woke up puking into a garbage can in front of everybody in the dorm room floor.
Aww.
Yeah, no, that was a mess. That's probably the worst one. Well, college hangovers are the worst because you're drinking stuff out of plastic bottles. Like, the college is where I learned that plastic bottle vodka is literally death. Like, that shit will.
We had Popov in California. Did they have that on the East Coast?
No, what were we? We were drinking some wild. I don't even remember the name of it. Like, just some wild shit. Whatever the cheapest thing was is what we got.
Like an $8 handle in a plastic.
Yeah,
you get poison.
You get what you pay for.
This is poison, and it will make you feel great because you're slowly poisoning yourself. Do you have like a pep talk you give yourself? Or
nah, there's a lot of looking in the mirror and just shame.
Face cream.
It's really it's a motivating shame that gets me going. It's just like, dog, you know better. Yeah. What were you thinking? You knew at the time when you did the last shot. You said to yourself, "This is a terrible idea," and you were right. And it's really just some days you just got to kick your ass. You got to kick your own ass and get yourself into shape. We've done 3 albums.
And a lot of little things.
Plus off things here and there. So we've probably done 50 songs together. Somewhere in that ballpark.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Wow.
But this was the first album that we wrote together. You know, most other songs, it's like, okay, I'll send you a beat or I'll send you a folder and then you come back with something. But this was, okay, we're going to sit down in the room. Let me start making something, which I really never really do. It's rare that I make tracks in front of people. I'm gonna go with There's This, which is definitely my favorite one. It starts off as somewhat typical Corina Corina Willie Green banger, which is always a good thing. But it's so pretty at the end when we switch and we kind of change the harmony to go with the melody. How we flip the end, it's super pretty. I'm really proud of the horn arrangement on that. I think that came out really, really nice. That's one of the first ones that we did for the album.
I think it was the first one.
I think that might be the first one.
That was the only song. That one and Sober are the only songs on the album where you sent me a beat beforehand.
Right.
And then we sort of deconstructed and worked on it. Everything else we did from scratch. But the interesting thing about There's This is that he sent me a beat, but it wasn't very long. And while I was writing to it, another thing kept, like while I would be singing to the beat, it would stop and then something else would play. I don't even remember what it was, but it would switch over. It was like some slow jazz song or something. And I was like, that would be really dope if we just switched everything in the middle. That was also the first time on this album where you really pushed me to get vulnerable.
Yeah.
And the content of the song is a situation that you have been witness to very closely.
I don't know what you're speaking
of. Happen in and around your house at times, and so it made the song very, very real and very authentic, and it made me feel so deeply connected to it. And even when I listen to it to this day, I remember how it all felt. And thankfully I have enough distance from it now that it's not like painful to listen to, but I feel all the feelings. And I remember asking you one day when we were listening to it, I was like, do you feel all this too, or is it just me because I was there? And you were like, no, it's the song.
Yeah,
that's
what
dope.
But that's what set off the tone of being able to be more personal on the whole project, because even the demo, we really pushed the emotion, especially in that second half. It's easy to sing over a banger because the track is giving you so much energy, but when the production kind of breaks down and smooths out, you're holding more of the responsibility of the emotion. And
it's delicate.
And it's delicate, and we got there, but that was like, okay, shit, Green's not letting me off the hook on this one. We're gonna actually dig in.
Mad.
We're gonna dig into all the stuff, and I'm pissed now, but he'll be right later on.
It builds character. The other little anecdote about that song is that I went out to dinner with my best friend that night after we did most of the vocals for that song. My best friend Dafina, who Never Ever is about, and I said, I don't think I'm over this. So it was one of those things that, I mean, this whole album was so cathartic for me personally, but it was one of those things where I'm like, I decided to write a song about this tough situation that I was in. And then in writing the song, I was like, well, I don't think I'm over this. And it got me to more healing from the situation. So I have this album to thank for a lot of personal healing, for sure.
Yeah.
If I described all the sounds and inspirations that we
You'd be
had
like,
for
why?
it, it sounds crazy. Weird rap, pop,
Chicago, like juke-inspired drums.
blues.
Rihanna.
Usually King Kunta. Beyonce, and you were like, wait, let me get this straight. You want to do a song that sounds like this, that turns into this, da 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 da. And I was like, yes. Bound.
Marching drums.
Charlie Wilson comes in and
Horns.
Kanye rapping.
Synths.
I came in with like an idea to do a song like that, and you were like, what?
A little salt and pepper shit going on.
Yeah.
Disco.
We do disco well.
We do it very well.
You can get it everywhere and anywhere. If you have any doubts, find me, holler at me, and I will lead you to the right place. This is an independently released album. I don't have any push behind it. All the funding comes from me, one drink at a time, selling it to people. So every single little push you have in you helps, and I hope you enjoy it.